Yes, and a lot of you guys are like, "Oh my God, Judgment's coming up again." Isn't that the reconciliation card, or the card where you may have something come back from the past? Oh snap! Already from the get go, you got to pay attention to the red flags. Okay, and this could be the one. Well, damn. Who is this? Who is this, right? So, yes, Judgment has the tendency to be very similar to a reconciliation kind of card. It talks about the past coming back up, or an opportunity coming back up from the past, that you may have gone through some serious transitions from, learning what to do differently, but also you may have obviously different aspirations, different feels, different vibes, but this situation calls on you to not just only reflect on the past to see how much you've changed, what you've done differently to get it to this point, or what needs to be done differently to get to the point that you desire, but also is if this is even an opportunity that you even want anymore. Because underneath this you have Justice, and interestingly enough, this is upside down, which I don't know why these cards would be doing that to me, because I literally just straightened them all out. But you have Justice underneath, so karma. There's something karmically tying you and this person together, or there's something. There's some sort of imbalance here that's really making this relationship, that's leaving this relationship unturned, if that makes sense, or unfinished. Because Judgment, to me, it doesn't give the whole unfinished business kind of deal. I think subtly it does. Or subtly it does, but it's like, I think it's like unfinished business. There's some things that haven't been wrapped up yet, and I think there's something this week that will help you kind of either not to make amends, but to kind of either to take the advantage of an opportunity that's coming in, or to completely go on a different path, just from what you've been through, from this learning process with this relationship. Now, considering that you have paid attention to red flags going on here for the both of y'all, this talks about saying, okay, the signs are cautioning you. That doesn't mean that there's some bad signs that you need to be watching out for, but there's some things that are definitely coming up that may add to some significance to your conclusion here, because Monday is the last day of Aquarius season, so this is the last day we're going to really have clarity of thought. So I think the situation is saying use that to your advantage, because come Tuesday we're going to be trying to really just be in our emotions and not really judge them too much, because it's going to get weird. Now, going on this side, starting off with this person on this side here, this is the mind plane here, the two cards that I'm starting off with, and this helps us to understand what both parties are thinking going into the relationship. Not really what they're thinking about their life, what they're thinking about you, how they think they're going on the relationship, because this is not about delving into other people's business too much. So the Ace of Coins, rather, not Ace of Cups. I always want to see this. Every time I see the C, I think of Cups, but it's not Cups. It's Pentacles. This person is thinking of long-term commitment, rather. Ace of Pentacles is a new beginning, yes, but it's also, but to me, it's like a new investment when it comes with the Ace of Pentacles, Ace of Coins. This is a new investment, new energy, like new opportunity to put time and energy towards something, really working, realizing that there's going to be a need to have a sort of kind of commitment to this, because it's not going to just happen overnight. It's just something that's going to cultivate and mature and blossom and grow over time. And I feel like this person does see this as something that has the potential to last very long, has the potential to build a legacy even, while the other person is completely confused and in the dark with it. Like, it's almost like this person has no idea that this person is even getting, this vibes. And of course, naturally, nobody is in anybody's mind at the moment. But this person can't read this individual. This person can't figure out this person's, motives. This person's completely in the dark. So, understandably so, right? They're kind of conquering their own fears, their own, anxieties, their own, insecurities at this time too, because of their inability to understand what's going on in the relationship. Right now, the relationship is confusing and it's not making sense. And right now, they're just kind of going with the flow and hoping to understand it while encountering a lot of their pains, a lot of their issues. Also, forgot to say, feel free to pick the sides that resonate with you guys the most, okay? Because there's no right or wrong side here. There's no designated side. I usually do that just for my personal readings, but for right now, since this is a YouTube video, just pick the side that resonates with you the most. But this person is totally in the dark, totally not sure what the hell's going on. Now, how they're presenting themselves as the Empress. They're still creating. They're still doing their thing. They're still independent. They're still taking care of themselves. At the same time, I kind of get the feeling that they're also taking care of a lot of other people too. They're taking care of their tribe, taking care of their children. If this is a mother, or if they're a father here, this person is definitely taking care of their responsibilities, but they're also taking care of themselves, creating abundance, creating happiness for themselves in some way, shape, or form. Even though they're not quite sure what the hell's going on around them, they're trying their best to continue the momentum that they have to create a better life for themselves. Now, that being said, the other person has the Page of Pentacles. I think they are extending an offer or a message here, or they're taking the time now to cultivate or to understand or to figure out what it is that they believe they have, pretty much trying to understand their value system, to say the very least. They're looking at the details of something. They're also maybe doing some tedious work right now, really putting in some effort into something that's, may not be very desirable. Ooh, just dropped my phone. May not be very desirable, may not be very fun, but they know that this is going to help them in the long run. It's going to help them propel forward. But they're also taking the time out to really look at the situation very closely. They're being very cautious and meticulous about what they're doing, about what's going on. And I feel like before they offer you something or before they extend it to you, they have to they have to take 5 different times to check it over and be very thorough about the message, whatever. They're very cautious about it. They're very careful with this. And the reason being is because of the Two of Swords. I feel like they were stuck here at a decision to make for a very long time. They were stuck kind of not quite sure of what they wanted, not quite sure if this was their truth, if this is what they wanted their truth to be. And it was coming from a place of, of not necessarily denial, but because in a weird way, the Two of Swords to me does kind of scream deny the situation, because the person has a blindfold on and they're holding 2 swords, right? Like they could just come up with a decision that they need at that moment by looking at the situation, but they're not taking the time out to do it. And I feel like that past energy where they haven't been was the reason why they were, slow, and that's why the reason why they're taking the time now to be cautious about, what they're going to say, what they're going to do, because they may have been in this headspace of, no, this can't be true, no, I don't want to see this. They're kind of trying to keep the balance of a situation, not taking action whatsoever, because there was a decision that they were afraid to make. Now, the other person's showing the Two of Wands, which is so interesting to me, and both parties here are showing, choices in the past, decisions. Now, I don't necessarily think it was as conscious as the not moral or thought idea oriented as the Two of Wands. This is more about what they're going to be doing, how they're going to take their first steps, what they're going to be doing to take their first steps. To be honest with you, what direction are we going? This person was stuck at a crossroads because they honestly had a lot of opportunities to pick, but obviously I think the one thing that they wanted was this relationship, but they're confused with it. So of course, this position where they've gone, taking the opportunity to either to choose the path of healing or taking an opportunity, taking this energy and using it in a very creative way. I think they took whatever was going on from this relationship and used it in the best way that they could, but they still haven't gotten to any kind of conclusions. They still haven't gotten to any sort of understanding what the hell's going on. So, of course, the challenge being the Six of Wands would be completely understandable, because the challenge is seeing the success and the the progress through your actions. I don't think that anybody really does. I feel like the only person that would probably have a slight, recognition of the effort that they put in is this person here, because they honestly know what they were going to start out now. They know they're starting something new. They know they're really ready to commit. They know that they're ready to invest the time needed to have a relationship. They're ready to start now. Page of Pentacles, slowly, but they're ready to start. And on their own time and with the credentials that they need, if that makes sense. Like they need to be sure that this is it, because the Page of Pentacles is so detail oriented. Somebody's looking very closely at the details, but I feel like at the same time too, this person could have already extended this offer. Somebody could have already communicated this to this person, like, hey, I'm ready to settle down. I'm ready for you to go ahead and open up to me, so that we can start going. But I don't think this person is blocking anything, because there's no blockage here. There's nothing blocking anything. This person's just plain old confused. And even though what brought you two together was pure love, I feel like, because of the Two of Cups, love, just genuine connection with each other. Like, you felt something, you guys connected in a very emotional way, you guys had a lot of similarities. It still doesn't quite make sense as to what was going on, and it doesn't really help, right? That everything that you've done still doesn't really make sense to you. Therefore, you can't really feel as proud of it as you would love to feel, because this still is like feeling like you're still walking in the dark, kind of blindfolded here. You know what I mean? Like, this connection is so confusing, and you don't know what truth to pick, because honestly, what you see, what you think about it is, or whoever this is not getting the full picture. It's not really able to see everything, because it's not making sense. And two, the progress that you've made, even though it's been amazing and it's empowering with the Empress showing up here, whoever this person is, it just feels like you just kind of stood in time. Like, nothing's ever really changed because of how everything has been. Because of judgment. You're like back at square one, right? Back at making that decision, back in a situation where there's a lot of changes that are coming in, or there's some sort of decision that you have to make, or there's some sort of opportunity that's popped up that supposedly changes your life, that ultimately does change you, because there may actually be nothing around. There may not be any opportunity at all that you see, because this is something that obviously you don't recognize, you don't notice. Right? Somebody is not noticing something. Something is not being received or seen. And this Page of Pentacles, like I said, like, they may not see it because they're dealing with their own fears. Their mind and their heart are so involved in themselves and trying to get better that they can't see the message that this person is trying to extend. Right? This is why the Six of Wands is not, the challenge is recognizing the situation, recognizing your progress, recognizing the work that's being put in, or what's not being put in at all. Being recognized, period. This person's having a hard time being recognized. And it could be that because they had taken the time to, they were in a situation where they didn't know what to pick, but they have the opportunity now. It's just like, what is going on, ultimately, right? It's like it's just a lot to deal with, and with judgment underneath justice, justice underneath judgment. It just shows that there is the balance. That balance is so off between you and this person, and it's neither. I don't think it's either one of your faults. I think it was just. I don't know. I don't, and it's not about the blame game when I say that. It's like, oh, this is your fault. This is all your fault. No. It's like, whatever happened was meant to happen. But even now, it's still like you're in that process of everything's happening for a reason. Everything's happening for a reason, which is understandable why the Romantic Angels card is coming out as pay attention to the detail, or pay attention to the red flags, which may be what this person here is doing right here, or you, right? So let's take a look here at your whispers of love. Miracles and blessings. Everything has its gifts. And that's what I was saying. Like, right now, there's no way of telling or seeing what's going on per se. Like, it looks like this person's ready to extend an offer. This person may also be taking the time out to figure out what is of value to them, trying to assess something, or they're starting something new, but in a very small way that can impact the beginning of a new stable relationship with you, or going forward. And again, right? It can impact it greatly in either a positive way, and I feel like it's always positive, because anything happens, even if it is negative, it's going to improve you in some way. But miracles and blessings tell you that things just happen, things come up, and you don't quite understand why it's happening until after you experience it, after you've gone through it. And I feel like right now, since everything's kind of confusing still, miracles and blessings are happening at this very moment. And even though it's not being seen or understood at this moment, I think it'll come to an understanding after a while. I think we're already feeling this spicy in energy. So the craziness is starting, the magic is sparking, and we're just going to have to ride the wave until we see where it makes sense, where the lines start to intersect, and we can start to really trace it back to the gold line.